to see you. I'm your host, A.T. Martinez, and today I want to cover the topic of Islam. Islam is one of the major religions in the world, and it's one of the fastest growing religions in the world. It's also one of the newest religions in the world. Islam started roughly somewhere in the around 600 AD, and in theory, it is based off of the Jewish religion and the Christian religion. But they're not the same. First off, the claim to supremacy in this is based off of Abraham's firstborn son, which was Ishmael. Now, for those of you that don't know the story, Abraham was promised that one of his children would form a great nation, and from that child would eventually become the savior of mankind. Now, Abraham was married to his wife, and she did not conceive a son for many years. She got so frustrated and so, let's leave it at frustrated, that she decided, she would have her handmaiden sleep with her husband, and then that way he could have his child. Well, she did, and her handmaiden did so, and the child that she had, the handmaiden had, his name was Ishmael. He therefore would make him the firstborn son of Abraham. The problem is that God had been promising Abraham to have a son with his child Sarah, and he did shortly thereafter. Now, from what we are told, Sarah sent away Ishmael and the slave, and they went off and they lived in the desert to the south of Israel. This Ishmael became the forefather of what is today the modern day Arabs. Isaac, of course, became the leader of what became the Jews. Now, Ishmael, one of his future descendants, was a man by the name of Muhammad. Muhammad lived between 570 and 632 AD, and he basically founded a new religion. Now, in his religion, they revere Moses, and they revere Christ, but only as prophets. And they add another prophet, the prophet Muhammad himself. Other things that this religion does, there's some similarities between that and the Judaism and Christianity. Number one, there's similar ceremonials and dietary restrictions as are placed on Jews. The praying and the way they pray. Well, all Islam is Judaism on steroids in that sense, where they pray 6 times a day, wherever they are, always aiming towards Mecca and Medina. The other thing you have that's similar is you have the Old Testament God of wrath comes forward in Islam as a very wrathful, very vindictive, very killing God. Now, there are some differences. Number one, Allah by no stretch should be considered the same God as Yahweh or Adonai is listed in the Old Testament or the New Testament. Why? Because he changed his message. It went from a message of love and peace to hatred and anger. You get a belief under Islam that it's okay to lie to move ahead. If your enemy has power, you may lie to them and even make treaties with them, which you have no intentions of keeping. You cannot take Christianity out of Christ's message. Christ was promoting a belief structure, and they've changed this to where the belief structure becomes irrelevant. So you have Christ without Christianity, and that doesn't work. You have Moses without Judaism, and that doesn't work. So they've set up a separate and altered religion. They've added several times over. You have the Quran becoming the holy book and ignoring basically most of the Bible, especially Christian Bible. Everything in the New Testament's been taken out. The Old Testament, most of that's gone. They'll keep basically up to Abraham. That's it. The other thing that you have is this is the first religion introduced that is basically a political religion. It sets up a political organization to rule an area versus a religion that happens to rule. Let's see if I can help you understand the difference. In the Old Testament, the high priest was not the ruler of Israel. He was the high priest. Often, the high priest would perform their duties and do their jobs, and we never even heard about the high priest. The stories we heard that came out from some parts of it were about the judges and about the prophets. They didn't get a king until they basically demanded one. So it's a non-political religion. It's not a religion based on their politics. Whereas Islam is a religion based on politics, or a political situation based solely on their religion. The two are intertwined. You can't have Islam without an Islamic government, per se. Those that live under Western cultures are not adherents to their new political regime. So it makes it kind of awkward. I mean, I've heard it said that all three of these religions are based off the same book, and it's not true. Judaism, based on the Torah and the writings of the prophets, yes. Christianity, taking those and going further, yes. Islam, taking them and throwing them out the window, no. So, if those of you that are wondering about this and wondering, is this just a different denomination? No, it's not a different denomination. And the easiest way to see that is to read the Quran and read the surahs and see that Allah is by no stretch of the imagination the same God as Yahweh. The religion that is set up is no way the same. It's a harsher, more political religion. Now, is it a Christian religion, even because they do acknowledge Christ as a prophet? No, because they deny he was the Son of God. That alters it, breaks from Christianity entirely. Okay, so as you're looking at this, understand they are not the same as us. They are different. Therefore, when somebody is a Muslim, they can convert. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so Islam is entirely a separate religion. It is not a part of Christianity, and it should not be treated as such. It is different. Just as Buddhism and several of the others. Later on, in a future episode, I'll talk about some of those other religions also. But for now, I've covered Islam. If you have any questions, go ahead. Go to the source and read these things. Look up the Quran and read the Quran. Why? Because you'll real quickly see that it's not the same. And Islam is not the same as Christianity by any stretch of the imagination. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful night. May God bless each and every one of you. Please hit that like button. Share this with your friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified when we provide.